Our world is suffering from a bad case of trust deficit disorder. People are feeling troubled and insecure. And trust is at a breaking point. Trust in national institutions, trust among states, trust in the rules-based global order. Within countries, people are losing faith in political establishments. Polarization is on the rise and populism is on the march. Among countries, cooperation is less certain and more difficult, and divisions in our Security Council are stark. Trust in global governance is also fragile, as 21st century challenges outpace 20th century institutions and mindsets. We have never had a true system of global governance, and much less a fully democratic one. But still, across many decades, we established solid foundations for international cooperation. We came together as United Nations to build institutions, norms and rules to advance our shared interests. We raised standards of living for millions. We forged peace in troubled lands, and indeed, we avoided a third world war. But none of these can be taken for granted. Today, world order is increasingly chaotic, power relations are less clear, and universal values are being eroded, democratic principles are under siege, and rule of law is being undermined. Impunity is on the rise as leaders and states push the boundaries, both at home and the international arena. And we face a set of paradoxes. The world is more connected, yet societies are becoming more fragmented. Challenges are growing outward, while many people are turning inward. And multilateralism is under fire precisely when we need it most. So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is true that we are moving in the direction of a multipolar world. But multipolarity will not in itself guarantee peace or solve global problems. A century ago, Europe was multipolar. A balance of power was deemed sufficient to keep rivals in check. It was not. Without strong multilateral frameworks for European-wide cooperation and problem-solving, the result was a grievous world war. And today, with shifts in the balance of power, the risk of confrontation may increase. In assessing the Peloponnesian War in ancient Greece, Thucydides said, and I quote, "It was the rise of Athens and the fear that this instilled in Sparta that made war inevitable." This is what the political scientist Graham Allison calls the Thucydides trap. But in his book, Destined for War, and reviewing many examples of rivalry in the past, he concluded that conflict is never inevitable. Indeed, with leadership committed to strategic cooperation and to managing competing interests, we can avoid war and steer the world onto a safer path. Individual leaders have the duty to advance the well-being of their people, but it runs deeper. Together, as guardians of the common good, we also have a duty to promote and support a reformed, reinvigorated, and strengthened multilateral system. We need commitment to a rules-based order, with the United Nations at its center, and with the different institutions and treaties that bring the Charter to life. And we need to show the added value of international cooperation by delivering peace, defending human rights, and driving economic and social progress for women and men everywhere. And that is why I'm so committed to reform and to making the United Nations more effective in responding to the needs and aspirations of we, the peoples. In the face of massive existential threats to people and planet, but equal at a time of compelling opportunities for shared prosperity, there is no way forward but collective, common sense action for the common good. This is how we can rebuild trust.